Yo, what's good, fight fans? It's your boy Jeff Patello coming at you with another fight prediction. Today we're going to be talking about UFC 247 live from the Houston Toyota Center, home of the Rockets. I'm first going to give a rating to this overall card. I think out of 5 stars, we're going to have to rate this one a 3-star event. I'm not big on 2 fights here on the main card. I'm not really big on this. Well, I'm not actually big on the main event. I'm not big on John Jones fighting Reyes. Reyes just really is still young in his career, and I think it's too soon to be fighting somebody that is the level of competitor that John Jones is. But you never know. Everyone's got a puncher's chance. The other fight that I'm not big on is Juan Adams versus Justin Tofa. That's a fight that I don't think should be on the main card. However, I think they probably put it on the main card just because they're looking to see somebody get knocked out. Other than that, the other fight that I'm kind of so-so on is Masari Belltech versus Dan Ige. I butchered those names, I know, but you know, both those guys are supporting a record fairly close to one another, so that has the potential to maybe kind of be a snooze fest, but we'll see. We never know. But there are a couple good fights on this card. Valentina Shevchenko versus Katlyn Chookagian. That's going to be a hell of a scrap. I'm a huge Valentina Shevchenko fan. That's going to be very, very exciting fight. Possibly going to end quick, that one. Also, the other fight that I'm looking forward to is Derek Lewis and the Swedish Hammer Lafitte or Latief. I'm fucking terrible with some of these names. That has been my glaring weakness when it comes to this. However, you know, those are going to be some of the better fights of this card. With that being said, let's get into some of these fight predictions. Okay, so this first fight is going to be against Derek the Black Beast Lewis versus Ilrai the Sledgehammer Latifi. I hope I said that name right. However, looking at both these guys' records and seeing who they fought, I'm going to put my money on Derek Lewis for a knockout here. The only reason that I'm not big on the Sledgehammer is he really hasn't been able to get any notable victories over anybody big in the division, as where Derek Lewis, he's got wins over Francis Ngannou. He's got another win against who else here? Alexander Volkov, right? Those are some pretty big names. Lewis only really kind of stumbled against Junior Dos Santos, a former champion, ended up getting knocked out. Nasty body shot. And the only other one that he struggled against is Daniel Cormier. I thought he was still relatively young in his career to be fighting somebody like a Cormier, but sometimes when your stock is rising, they feed you to the wolves, right? That's what he gets for having probably the line of like, well, the soundbite of 2018, right, where he was like, "My balls is hot," or was that 2017? That might have been 2017. It's been a minute since I remember that. However, that being said, the only reason that I'm not big on the Hammer is when he's fought top-level competition, such as Corey Anderson, who's an amazing fighter. He wasn't able to really do much against him. He doesn't really have any notable victories in the last little bit, right? He's actually lost to Volkan Ozdemir, right? He wasn't really that active. He's only fought once in 2019. He again has only fought twice in 2018, right? So might be a little bit on the bring rusty side. But I am looking for Derek Lewis with the knockout. Okay, so the next fight, folks, is Dan Ige versus Masari Belltech. Both fighters have got some skills on the ground. Masad is he is a freestyle wrestler, so he's got wrestling abilities. He's got a few knockouts in a couple of his fights here. He's currently a 13-2 fighter. He unfortunately in his last fight he got knocked out in the first round with just about 4 minutes in. He lost to Josh Emmett, and he's definitely looking to bounce back. He really hasn't fought anybody with a big name just as of yet, so it's hard to tell exactly who's going to end up winning. His opponent is Danny Iga. Iga is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and he's also got a brown belt in judo, so he's definitely got some skill standing. He's definitely got the qualifications if this fight goes to the ground. I really don't know much about these two fighters, I'm going to be honest here, but judging from the records and what little I was able to watch on the on YouTube here, I'm going to put my money with Dan Iga. I think this fight goes to the ground, and I'm going to say Iga is going to get the submission. However, like I said, you never know exactly what's going to happen with these fights, right? I predict this to be going to a decision. It's probably not going to be the most exciting fight on the main card, but I think that's why they're probably throwing in a heavyweight fight that's got no business being on the main card. Yeah, so that being said, my money is going to be behind Dan Iga. I'm going to say he is going to get the decision win. He probably is not going to be able to finish Masad on the ground, but you never know. The man is a black belt. So this next fight is going to be against Juan Adams versus Justin Tofa. This is the one that I kind of have a problem on, that it's on the main card. These guys' professional records are very, very young still. Adams is only 5-2. Tofa is 3-1. The only reason that I think these guys are on the main card is that I think the idea behind this is they're hoping for a knockout. These are some really big boys. Tofa is, I believe, a New Zealand native, Samoan by the looks of it. He looks to be a big boy. He is probably going to end up knocking out Adams, if I have to say so. The only reason that I'm going to go with Tofa in this fight is that the last two fights that I've seen from Adams, he really hasn't impressed. Adams is off to a rough start in his UFC career. He's 0-2 so far. He had a pretty brutal loss against Greg Hardy. You know, he talked a lot of smack about how he was going to outwork him and this and that, but as soon as he gets smacked in the face, you know how it goes, right? Like Mike Tyson's favorite saying, you know what I mean, is like everyone's got a fight plan until they get smashed in the face, right? So that being said, I'm going to put my money on Tofa. This is going to be a quick fight in my opinion, unless these guys gas out early, and then it'll probably be a long, boring fight. Hopefully it'll be a quick one. Like I says, Tofa for the win, Tofa with a knockout. I'm going to predict first round. Now, this is a fight that I am looking forward to very much so. I am a huge fan of Valentina the Bullet Shevchenko. This woman is the epitome of what it means to be a martial artist. Her family is really big into the martial arts. She's been training ever since she was a youngin'. She has got well-rounded skills, world-class well-rounded skills. You know, she can win standing. We've seen her with that amazing highlight knockout kick of I believe it was Jessica I recently. She's got submission ability. She is the complete package. Her only real losses have been against Amanda Nunes, who is probably the only other woman that we can say is, like, you know what I mean, the absolute greatest. You know, Nunez number 1, Valentina Shevchenko is number 2. You know, and then it's pretty much open as to who's the number 3 best in the world. She is fighting against Katlyn Choate again. I think this is going to be a tough fight for Katlyn. The only reason that I'm thinking that this is going to end up being a tough fight is that anytime Katlyn has come across big name fighters, she's lost, right? Like we've talked about, there's levels to the fight game here, right? And you know, can be wicked good, but if you can't get past the top, you know, the cream of the crop, right? You know, you're just kind of an okay fighter, right? And thus far, Katlyn really hasn't shown us, you know, that she's been able to take out the top level competitors. Her first fight, I know it's going back to 2016 in the UFC. She did lose to Liz Carmucha, and she's got another loss against Jessica Eyes. And most of her victories only come from decisions. I know, like, most of her fights have only been 3 rounds, and we're going to go and actually see her in a 5-round fight, which Katlyn is really looking forward to. She claims that she's really going to shine in this fight. So she's probably looking to drag this in deep, hoping that her gas tank is greater than Shevchenko's. In my opinion, it is not. Shevchenko has fought many of these 5-round battles. She's went the distance twice with Nunez. So I'm not worried about my girl Valentina. I think of the two, well, what Katlyn really needs to do in this fight is she needs to fight long. She seems to be the taller of the 2 fighters, and she just looks to be a very lanky fighter. So if she uses her jab to set up the kicks, you never know where this can go. But Valentina, like I've said, has seen it all, done it all. I'm going to predict Valentina Shevchenko with a KO victory. I'm going to say probably 4th round. And for the main event, Jon Jones versus Dominic Reyes. I'm going to be honest, I really don't like this fight for Reyes. And my only reason is that he's still a relatively young fighter, right? He's only age 30, right? He's 12-0. He really doesn't have any, I mean, his notable victory is a KO victory of Chris Weidman. He does have wins over Ozdemir, which is some tough competitors, but he really hasn't fought the cream of the crop, I think, in the light heavyweight division, right? I think he might be jumping into this a little bit too soon in his career. And you know, it's a strange beast fighting Jon Jones. You know, the man is got probably the best fighter on the face of the planet that can close range. You know what I mean? He fights a lanky style, right? He's got that blitz attack, you know, and any other game that that Reyes can employ, you know, Jon Jones is just that much better than him, you know. Reyes has got a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, right? I believe Jon Jones, he is a brown or black belt. I'm not entirely too sure, but you know, the man is an absolute beast. You know, there's a fair bit of smack talk between the two of them, but in Jones's opinion, Thiago Silva, the last fight that he had, is a way better, way stronger opponent. I'm going to predict Jon Jones to win this in the second round. I think he's going to put this guy away quick. It's going to be pretty much a Jon Jones show for sure. I think Reyes is going to feel overwhelmed by the moment. You know, this is his first stab at a title fight. And this is smart by Jon Jones, you know what I mean, to take out somebody that's got a record of 12-0. There's really nobody else for Jon Jones to fight in the light heavyweight division. I would really like to see him make the move to heavyweight and start start cleaning out that division, you know, something, right? Something needs to get John Jones motivated to you know, just keep him at an elite level, you know what I mean? I would like to see him run it back with Thiago again, but who knows what's going to be in the cards for this man. Like I said, John Jones, I'm going to say probably a second round KO. And yeah, that's it. All right, folks, thank you so much for sitting in here and listening to what I had to say. Really looking forward to this fight card on Saturday. Should be a half decent one. I will be doing a fight recap of the entire event on the Sunday. Hopefully I'll have it up by the Monday. With any luck, maybe I will be able to get it up on the channel for Sunday. That being said, guys, appreciate all the support. If you guys like what I've been doing here, make sure to hit a like. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. And I will leave a link to my Discord channel in the description below. Thank you very much. Much love. Peace.